Today I'm going to talk about a topic that's a little bit more interesting than a lot of my other topics. Every time I've brought up what I'm about to tell you, people have talked about it with me for weeks afterwards. Sometimes they remember it even years afterwards. So I thought maybe I should make a YouTube video out of this since people seem to be so transfixed with it. As you can see, the title of this video is called Circular Time. I just want to start off by asking a question. How many people have experienced deja vu? Pretty much everyone has experienced deja vu, right? Well, what if the fact that you've experienced deja vu wasn't just a fluke, but it was something greater? What if the life you're living right now, you've lived before, and you've lived before an endless amount of times the exact same life? That sounds like pseudoscience, though, so why would I be making this absurd claim? I'll show you why. Right now, we view time like this. Just a straight line. What I'm saying is maybe we should view time like this. A circle. Novel idea. But think about it. Absolutely everything that is a part of nature is cyclical. Our water system is cyclical. Our very universe is cyclical. A big bang is followed by a big crunch. Almost everything that is a part of nature and the natural world is cyclical. And this goes for how we measure time. Monday comes once every week. It's a circle. It's a circular pattern of Monday through Sunday. Same with months. Same with year. Same with time, essentially. We already look at time as a circular model, how it is. So is it really so much a leap of faith to assume that another way we look at time at the most macro level is the exact same way? So what are the ramifications of circular time? Like I said, circular time means we only have the illusion of free will. We've lived this life an endless amount of time, of times before and times after, presumably. Now, this essentially completely negates free will, so some might argue that this theory would be impossible. Talk to a neurosurgeon and ask them if free will exists. I'm going to tell you to not think about your fingertips. Did you just think about your fingertips? Of course you did, because there was an external stimuli that made you think about them. And I was that stimuli in that particular situation. A lot of neuroscientists believe that free will is more illusionary and that we all are subject to determinate laws, just like any other body of mass in the universe, because everything is composed of the same building blocks, atoms, and you can go even further down into subatomic particles, but we're all of the same material. So why? And the Newtonian model of the universe shows us that the universe is deterministic, meaning that it has a set path. If we know the orbit of a star, we can predict its cycle of day and night because it's determined. Because there are external stimuli that determine what it's going to do. They're composed of the same building blocks that we are. We have consciousness. That is the only difference. And technically, we can't prove that that planets don't have consciousness. Technically. So, really, the supposed leap of faith to believing that free will is illusionary really isn't much of a leap of faith at all. And it fits perfectly with this circular model of the universe. So, is this just me saying that the circular model of the universe? No, I wasn't the guy who came up with this. As it turns out, this is a very, very time-tested theory. It's been mentioned throughout many cultures. One of them was in ancient India. They had a god by the name of Ouroboros, which was a dragon eating its tail, which essentially represented the continual rebirth of the soul, and they had an accompanying wheel of time because they envisioned time as being circular. The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche wrote about what he called eternal recurrence, which was the concept that time is actually a circle, and when you die, your life just repeats itself over and over and over and over. Nietzsche didn't see it as a good thing at all. He said that the only people who would benefit from this, who would stand to gain from this, were what he called lovers of fate. He eventually went crazy pondering the idea, and Nietzsche is widely regarded as one of the best philosophers of the 19th century. So this theory isn't exactly new. It's been around for really centuries, but not even just centuries, actually millennia. And it really fits with the model of the universe that's gaining steam, that there's a big bang, and then it's followed inevitably by a big crunch later in the future. And then, after that big crunch, there's another big bang. This is a theory called the oscillating universe, and it's catching on more and more among astrophysicists. And this would fit completely with the circular model of the universe. So basically, there's all of these factors that make this theory plausible, but obviously it doesn't have any bulletproof evidence yet. But as far as metaphysical claims about the afterlife go, this is far and away the one that would make the most sense. I mean, it's a very interesting concept, and in my opinion, it's really a better, it's a more comforting concept than the notion of eternal life after death or reincarnation. Both have their drawbacks, which I won't get into in this video. Actually, I will get into them in this video. Eternal life sounds good in theory, but an infinite lifespan needs an infinite number of resources, and the number of resources in the universe are finite. Therefore, an infinite lifespan would be undesirable past a certain point. And think about it. What makes something good? Do you want good for good's sake, or do you want good because it's good in the face of a world that isn't always good? We need the bad in order to appreciate the good, and we also need the comfort of knowing there is an end. So therefore, eternal life really when you think about it enough, becomes highly undesirable. And reincarnation is a bit different. But if you like the life you have, certainly reincarnation wouldn't be an appealing prospect to you. But honestly, it doesn't matter how appealing the theory it is. The only thing that matters is if the theory is right or not. And reincarnation and thoughts of eternal life really have no basis in reality, and they completely contradict every working model we have of the universe. Whereas what I just proposed, the circular time theory, fits pretty well with our existing model of the universe. In fact, this is what has sold me on this theory. Not that I'm sold exactly. I'll get to that later, though. There is a mathematical theorem called the Poincare recurrence theorem that states that after a sufficient amount of time has passed, all matter will return to its original state. And the calculation of this is that it would take several 100 billion years. And when you check this theorem and you match it to the predicted start date and end date, the Big Bang and the Big Crunch of the universe, it matches completely. I'll say it again so you can Google it. It's called the Poincare recurrence theorem. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's by an Italian mathematician, and it's actually a proof. This isn't just conjecture. This is an actual proof. So that's a little interesting tidbit. And for those who simply dismiss circular time, I'd have to say this. Before Einstein discovered the theory of relativity, it was impossible to even comprehend. Before the Big Bang was discovered, people believed what was called the steady state universe, that the universe just had always been here and was never changing until the Big Bang turned that theory on its head. Scientific norms of today, such as the fact that time is a line, a linear line, those paradigms shift completely over time. And resting on our laurels to say that, well, this is the way we think the universe is, and therefore circular time cannot possibly be true, is really a joke. It's completely dismissing something. I'm not entirely sure I believe it, but I think it is an interesting possibility that it may be true, it may not. I'm kind of agnostic towards the idea, just like I'm agnostic towards the idea of whether or not there is a God. But if I had to choose what was more plausible, a God or this, I would definitely say this, because this fits far better into our working model of the universe than a deity does. But it's just something to think about. The fact that time is a circle, and if time is a circle, when you die, you repeat the life that you lived endlessly, and you're not conscious of it, and it explains deja vu, and it fits with so much of what we've observed in the natural world. So, very interesting stuff to think about. But I'm out because it's about 2:15 a.m. and I have nothing better to do than make a video on circular time. Awesomeness. I'll catch you guys later. You guys should subscribe to my channel, like this video, all that good stuff. Alright, bye-bye.